So the Cardinals out of the ACC, and as we mentioned, Boise State out of the Mountain West, and Jasmine Jones has the opening tip and the series history between these two. Third meeting all time. There's a nice basket. And how about Jazz responding to being an impact player?
Right on cue. She starts her team out with the 2 points, and that is what Boise State is concerned about, is the Cardinals' ability to drive and penetrate.
Louisville, a little trap out of the man-to-man, a little deflection away from Lutfer. And that 5-second violation, Cardinals really turned up the pressure early, and they're going to try to do that to Boise today, it looks like.
Well, one of the things that Jeff Walz does so well is mix up defenses, high pressure defenses, and that time, Boise State didn't have anybody come help.
Down low it goes to Dunham. She gets it in that position, and if Coleman tries to play behind her, that's going to be tough for the Broncos in that spot.
Well, Gordy Presnell was concerned about the Cardinals' size. Broncos have good size themselves, but the Cardinals are as big as they've been in a very long time.
No doubt about that. McGuire had it momentarily. This is Hodgins on the...
Things that Jeff Walz does so well is mix up defenses, high pressure defenses, and that time, Boise State didn't have anybody come help.
Down low it goes to Dunham. She gets it in that position, and if Coleman tries to play behind her, that's going to be tough for the Broncos in that spot.
Well, Gordy Presnell was concerned about the Cardinals' size. Broncos have good size themselves, but the Cardinals are as big as they've been in a very long time.
No doubt about that. McGuire had it momentarily. This is Hodgins on the move, and deep in the corner, there's Jade Christopher, the 5-out redshirt freshman, or senior rather, that gets the first points in the game for the Broncos.
Well, and Christopher, the point guard, she is averaging 6 assists a game. Not a big part of the scoring in the most part, but hits the three. And then Kylie Shook, who's been playing great as of late, 3 straight double-doubles with the lay-in.
And I know you're glad to see that. Wide open 3 straight away. McGuire doesn't get any of it. Kylie's been really posting up well, hasn't she?
Well, she has, and this time she's the beneficiary of the pass from Dana Evans, and just takes that one dribble and scores.
Wide open, Evans in the lane, can't hit the bunny. And here come the Broncos across the midcourt line, and Christopher, and she takes it all the way, misses, and Shook pulls down the rebound. You mentioned Kylie. After that slow start, she has been outstanding.
She certainly has been. She got in foul trouble against Western Kentucky, only 2 points and 2 rebounds, but 3 straight double-doubles since then, and is averaging nearly a double-double with 9.8 rebounds, a team best.
Louisville had Bologun try to hit one from 3, didn't get it. Nice reverse underneath by Coleman. Nice basket there. It's a 1-point game.
Well, Coleman, transfer from Arizona, has done a nice job for Boise State. And another 2 points for Kylie Shook. She's doing a nice job of presenting herself to her teammates, being open and available for the pass.
We're going to have our first substitution. McGuire's going to go out, and this is why. You got to give help down there on Shook.
Yeah, it was a great penetration and pitch by Evans inside to Shook. As we mentioned, Gordy Presnell concerned about the Cardinals' ability to drive. Boise State just does not have the athleticism to match up with the Cardinals.
Shook rimmed the free throw. Louisville gets the possession anyway on the high bounce. And that's going to be a double dribble on Shook. She thought that she had just picked it up, but that's going to be a violation. Jeff Walz kind of wants to know what was with that particular call.
Apparently it was too much delay in between the 2 dribbles. Shook took the dribble to balance herself, and then another one to try to make her move. And the official called it a double dribble.
Got a foul away from the ball. Foul is going to be on Bianca Dunham. Away from the ball, and Rachel Bowers, a 6'3" sophomore forward out of California, was the one that was fouled. She wears 25 in the blue uniforms with the orange numeral and trimming. 10 on the shot clock. Left shot by Lufer straight away doesn't go, and it's out of bounds to Louisville. You know, talking to Sam Purcell, he said when you look at the tape of the Boise State games, in each game, unfortunately, they had a bad quarter.
Yeah, they can hang with, they're a highly talented, very well-coached ball team. They're going to hang with a lot of teams, including the Cardinals. This season, they've just been one quarter that's done them in. They're still at 3-2,
Yeah.
but as you were talking about, Coach Purcell thought that they had a chance to be 5-0 coming in if it weren't for that bad quarter and a couple losses.
As I mentioned, he's done a great job. He's an 83 grad of Northwest Nazarene. Here off the baseline, good look by Jones. Didn't get it. Nice hustle by Louisville as Balagon comes out with it. How about that? And Shook gets the basket.
Another great pass from Dana Evans to Kylie Shook. Kylie should buy Dana dinner tonight.
Absolutely. Let's look at it again.
Off the offensive rebound, they just forget about Shook down low. Dana Evans found her for probably the easiest 2 points Shook is going to get this evening.
Is there a better example of seeing the floor? Shook thought about the three. She can shoot it. Now Evans takes it back. Little dribble drive and can't finish off. Look at Dunham go to work. And they're going to call a jump ball on the block. And it's going to go to the Broncos. Good defensive play that time by BSU.
Yeah, good job by Coleman, making sure that when challenging that shot, she didn't make contact, just kept those arms straight up and put her hands down, almost like a volleyball block at just the right time.
Christopher gets it off the Hodgins. The lefty can't get this one to go on the bank shot. And Jones leads the break, takes it all the way and lays it in.
We talked about Jones's athleticism and explosiveness, and you saw every bit of it on display in that fast break basket.
Louisville's opened its largest lead and now pressing out of the half court. Baseline jumper rolls around and comes off by Louisville, who's into the lineup. Jade is a 5'10" sophomore. Now we have a whistle. Louisville's really pushing it up the floor too, aren't they?
They most certainly are, and we see a great example of that as Jasmine Jones goes coast to coast and finishes right at the rim.
Her 80th consecutive start. That's amazing. And as we mentioned, between Jazz and Dana Evans, that's 40% of the Louisville scoring between the two.
Well, as a senior, it's really a chance for a breakout year for Jasmine Jones. She's one of those players who, throughout her career with the Cardinals, has done the little things. And this year, she has the opportunity to be more of an impact player on the offensive side of things with the absence of Asia Durr.
You won't see her miss two freebies very often, but she did there, and Louisville again sets up, showing that zone tendencies, and that's inside and then stolen away nicely. Balagoon created the turnover, and then Louisville almost gives it back, but it's knocked out of bounds. You know, that's the thing when we talk about Liz Balagoon. She could get her hands on the loose balls too. She's been a big factor with some deflections here early.
She certainly has. She has great length. And Coach Presnell said that was one of the problems against Washington State, was their length really gave the Broncos a lot of trouble.
This Louisville team has a lot of length, and they're going to for several years now. Jasmine had a good defensive setup that she had to work against, and now out to Evans with 15 on the shot clock. Gets a high pick. Now she penetrates, puts it up, and draws the foul.
Now Dana Evans averaging over 18 points per game so far this season, really showing her offensive prowess. Cardinals with a 12-2 advantage. It's kind of what they do.
Yep.
And it boils down to the two areas that I think Gordy Presnell must have talked to his team about at the break was better defense against the dribble drive and box out and rebound. They're getting hurt on the offensive boards.
No doubt about that. Checking into the lineup, Elizabeth Dixon, the 6'5" sophomore transfer from Georgia Tech out of Memphis. Started early in the season, now comes off the bench. Louisville's hit 6 out of 11 from the floor. Boise just 2 of 7 to go along with that point in the pace, and that's going to be an illegal pick, a block on a offensive play. You don't see that very often. As Gordy's over there saying, what in the world was that? Not much happening there.
It's interesting. In talking to Coach Presnell, he was talking about they have lost a great screen setter. It's one of the things they're missing in this year's lineup as Jones scores in the paint.
You wouldn't think that would mean much, but obviously it does.
It's the little things. It doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but it can make such a difference in your team chemistry and team identity.
10-0 run for the Cardinals over the last 3 minutes, and they're looking for more. Jones, as she hands off the pass, she's fouled, and immediately you could see Balagoon go over and say, hey, our spacing wasn't very good. We needed better spacing there. Pretty good teammate coming from another school right away.
Absolutely. Balagoon was such a great player last year for Georgia Tech. She and her teammate then and teammate now at Louisville, Elizabeth Dixon, both outstanding players. But when you're new to a program and you're able to know these things and communicate those things to your teammates, it's a great sign.
Seemed like she's been with the club for a while after that indication on the court as Jones hits the free throw after missing her first 2. On the trip, and now she knocks in both of them.
Don, you talked about coming out of the break, the dominance and points in the paint in this basketball game. They've had 2 other games where they've absolutely dominated. 42-6 points in the paints against Murray State, and then 50-16 in the win over Chattanooga.
Boy, that's just dominance. There's a nice jumper deep in the left corner, and Lavelle, Jade gets her first couple of baskets. She's a sophomore out of Washington with the Skyline High School. A lot of West Coast recruits for Boise State. There's Dunham. When she puts her mind to it, you're not going to stop her going to the basket.
No, and that was such a great decision to drive from the elbow.
This off the front of the rim by McGuire and out of bounds. You know, that's the problem when you fall behind, isn't it, Sarah? You need to get points, obviously, to come back. But you want to take good shots, and I'm not sure that Boise's doing that right now.
No, and what Louisville is doing defensively is they are really shutting down the top 2 scorers in Riley Lupfer and Brady Hodgins, and they're making the other players for Boise State have to step up and score.
Norika Kono checks into the lineup, gets a pass inside, and guess who? Jasmine Jones, and the beat goes on for Jazz today. She's in double figures, and now we're going to have another offensive foul, and guess who picked it up? Jazz was on that end of it, too. Watch this.
And talk about an impact player. Great pass inside from Kono, and Jasmine Jones being patient and finishing in the paint.
She's going with the yellow kicks today, by the way.
Those are some sharp-looking sneakers, huh?
She can wear whatever she wants. There they are. I don't think you'll misplace them, and they shine in the dark. Nice move by Evans. That's what Dana does so well. And Jeff Walls, what he wants to have happen now is have other players set up Dana for a shot.
Absolutely. She is a scoring point guard, and this year has a lot of responsibility on the scoring side on her shoulders. She has been answering that call.
Good double team there as Dixon came out. Shot clock is under 10. And a turnover, threw it right to a Cardinal as Dunham comes with it. That's 7 turnovers.
The Broncos get it right back.
Yep, and Louisville does give it back and count the basket and a chance for 3-point play here. A little ragged up and down, but a chance for the old-fashioned 3-point play.
Well, the Broncos are a team that do not get to the free throw line very often. But Brady Hodgins is a real key for them. Yep. She has a good 3-point shot. Hasn't really been strong from the beyond the arc this year at just 20%, but historically a good three-point shooter. But she's best when she's in attack mode.
Yep. She had 20 points in the loss to Washington State. She was the top scorer for the Broncos. Broncos picked to win the Mountain West again, which they've done in consecutive years in terms of tournaments and NCAA appearances. Nice move there. How about that time as Kono uses the glass.
What a great little fake inside as Christopher comes down with a full head of steam and finishes at the rim.
That's what you normally see out of Boise. They'll exploit that. And trying to settle into this game here with less than 2 minutes to go in the first quarter in the Yum Center, and that's going to be a traveling violation on the cards. How about Narika here?
And you see she is just so smooth. She stops short of the layup, but the defense was there, so it was an excellent read. She just touches it slightly off the glass. Great move by the freshman.
And Jasmine Jones gets a nice round of applause as she goes to the bench. And a nice shot inside and a basket by Ashante Coleman.
That was set up by Christopher. Nice dribble penetration. I like that Boise State is not settling for the three-point shot.
Right.
They're tremendous from long range, but they're looking to get it into the paint.
Louisville got away with leaving its feet a couple of times, but a fortuitous bounce gives it back to Kono, and she banks it in.
Great job by Kono to even retain possession. And not only that, but she ends up with 2 points for her team.
You know, we're going to have to tell her she's a cool operator now.
She is so much fun to watch. Very smooth, very composed. You wouldn't know she was a freshman by her composure on the court. And still learning the English language, getting comfortable in Coach Walls' system.
See an 8-3 turnover difference. Boise, unfortunately, leading that category. And Louisville's hitting 71% from the floor on 12 of 17. Evans, long three, and she adds to that percentage.
And what the Cardinals have done is penetrate, dish into the post, and now that opens the three-point shot as we see Evans knocking down the long ball.
There you see the double team. Nice dish over to Coleman. She can't hit it. Rebound Dunham, and gets it up to Dana Evans, and now she's going to walk it up and try to take the final shot as you see the final 15 seconds winding down here in the first quarter.
And they will want to use all of this shot clock. Evans will start toward the rim shortly.
And she's checked by Christopher. Dana puts it up, tough shot, didn't get the roll, and that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. But Louisville out to a quick start, 31.
That's right, stuff yourself with hoops, I like it.
Jeff Walls, got to talk to him before the game today. Of course, they're moving on to play in the Virgin Islands. They'll be leaving on Tuesday in the home stand. Getting some space this time and not making the shot for Louisville, but Dixon.
Yeah, calling an offensive foul on Dixon. She kind of pushed the defender away with the basketball. And Dixon struggling a little bit. Find her way against the size of Boise State today.
There's a little jump hook, a little bit strong that time by McGuire. And you can really tell that the size behind the post players is making the Bronco post players kind of rush their shots a bit.
In fact, Louisville's defense overall has got the Broncos a little bit out of rhythm, rushing some shots. We saw it with Ashante Coleman's three-point attempt toward the end of the first quarter. Great offensive rebound, though, by Riley Lupfer, which has gotten her to the free throw line. Ball kind of went through two Cardinal players' hands. Lupfer, though, not able to connect on that second free throw.
And that was her first point. Evans at the other end for Louisville, got a little glass piece of it and banks it in through the rim. And quickly back the other way as Boise comes up with the three ball by Lupfer.
Well, the Broncos really need Lupfer to start hitting some shots from long range to get themselves back in this ball game. Nice job finding her in transition on that play.
Showing a little zone here. In the middle, it goes inside. Good up and under move that time. Now that's where Dixon can really be effective.
What a beautiful step through as the Broncos get it up quickly and find Coleman for the easy lay-in. And Coach Wall's not happy about his team's transition defense.
You think?
5 straight points for the Broncos in Broncos and Coach Presnell really need Hodgins and Lupfer to start getting hot from the perimeter in order to tighten this gap.
A 15-point Cardinal lead with 8:40 remaining in the first half. Almost a double dribble there by Louisville. Now good ball movement just above the free throw line. A nice bounce. That time for Dixon. She got the fortuitous bounce. The All-ACC first-team freshman team last year.
And Dixon getting more and more comfortable out on the court this afternoon. There we see Coleman with a long-range shot.
Speaking of Dixon, she's one of the newcomers to the team. We'll have a chance to see all those during our halftime show.
One of the 2 transfers from Georgia Tech.
Yeah. Boy, it's really getting rough underneath the basket now. Evans, man, she is shooting with such confidence.
Well, that's her second 3-pointer from that same spot on the floor. Her teammates know where to find her.
She leads all scorers with 12, and they're going to get an offensive foul there. That time Coleman put her shoulder down. I'm not sure Gordy thought it was quite that emphatic, but...
Well, you got to sell it. Makaza Robinson certainly sold it. She is probably one of the hardest-nosed players on this team, does a lot of the little things.
Yep.
She's worked very hard in the offseason to get herself in better shape. Missed the first game of the year, that WKU broadcast that we had with the shoulder injury. Turnover there for the Cardinals. And she is... 5
Louisville turnovers. Yeah, you're right, Mikasa.
She's a hustle player.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised she was able to draw that charge.
Mikasa out of Ashland, Kentucky, the far eastern part of the state. If you're not familiar with it, there's a fallback 3 by Lupfer. It didn't go, and then quickly up come the Cardinals to the baseline. Kono couldn't get it, but I think she was able to draw a foul and is going to go to the line and let her magnificent smile. It's going to be out of bounds. It's going to be a set play.
She had a nice hesitation move to get to the rim. I thought there was some contact, but no whistle. She did a nice job securing her own miss. The Cardinals averaging 20 offensive rebounds per game so far this season.
Yeah, and you were talking about the turnovers too, Sarah. That's one of the things that Coach Walsh really wants to concentrate on reducing. Of course, they play that up-tempo game, as you see Robinson all over the ball dribbler now, and Hodgkins.
Cardinals like that fast-paced offense and high-pressure defense. What you have to make sure is there's a travel there by Freeman, that when you're trying to speed up the other team, you don't speed yourself up so much that you're careless with the basketball.
And you see Coach Walls as the 5-game homestand will come to an end, as Jeff unusually, he'll play anywhere against anybody, as he did last year. Matter of fact, the Boise home court winning streak, the last team to beat him at home was Louisville last year. There's Jones with a nice strong move, got her own miss. How about a third opportunity? It's out of bounds to Boise.
Well, Boise State with some block shots underneath, trying to reestablish themselves defensively in the paint.
Now the Broncos won't quit. They got off to a shaky start and now trying to settle in. They've had multiple NCAA appearances, won the tournament and regular season in the Mountain West, and that time patience just wasn't there and got a little frustrated and threw a bad pass. You've seen Diop in the Louisville lineup now. See where's number 2, the redshirt senior out of Senegal.
We talked about the Splash sisters. Yep. Well, Hodgins, one half of that duo, is on the bench with 2 fouls.
Yep. They need her on the floor too. There's a good look and a little bump. Robinson got pushed pretty hard. Gonna have to let this one go. And it's a turnover. Got down to about 2 seconds on the shot clock. Good move at the other end. Now Christopher starting to show her senior leadership as she took it from one end to the other.
Well, she is an experienced point guard. Does a tremendous job for this Broncos team.
Got a lot of the starters back from a team that went to the NCAA tournament last year again. There's Shook up and under. That's where she's gotten stronger, isn't it? That upper body to take it in and use the glass.
Absolutely, and she's focusing more on her post presence. First couple of years for the Cardinals, she was settling for a lot of three-pointers.
And that's going to be a blocking foul called on Kono. Mayor Jared didn't think so.
But you're seeing both teams settle in a little bit, especially Boise State. They're getting more confident on both ends of the floor. They've gotten more aggressive here in the second quarter. Looking to penetrate offensively and being stronger on the defensive end.
Lavelle. What a leap she made in her sophomore year. She really key player in the backcourt in so many different ways. Averages 20 minutes a game, so she is a contributor in a big-time way. She's going to go to the bench, checking back in as Hodgins.
Well, one of the interesting things about Boise State, so far this year, they're averaging 9.6 made threes. That's a lot.
That is.
And only 7.6 made free throws. They don't get to the free throw line a lot, but they're going to have to do so in today's game against Louisville if they want to give themselves a shot.
How about the Cardinals with the weave? And Jasmine Jones, the recipient of the basket. She has 12 now. She and Evans both tied for the game leadership in points scored. There's a three ball deep in the corner from Hodgins.
Nice setup that time, and great job by Hodgins to knock down the corner three.
Now you've seen both parts of the Splash Sisters score today.
Well, there is tremendous experience on this Boise State roster with 6 seniors.
Robinson turned it over. Now a nice block by Diop at the other end, but she couldn't get the possession. She really got down court in a hurry to make the block.
A great hustle play.
Now Robinson's going to go to the bench. She's made a couple of passes in traffic, and I think Jeff just wants to use this as a coaching moment, because he expects her to do some big things now.
Absolutely, and we talked about the absence of Asia Durr, but Erica Carter, the starting point guard for 3 years for the Cardinals, is a big hole to replace.
How about Shook recovering, and she gets it back on the other end. That's a thank you for the defensive end.
Great ball movement by the Cardinals. Very unselfish play.
And Kylie hustles to get back on defense too. A little up and under, doesn't go. Follow, no. Diop has the rebound and she's fouled. That's the way you go to the glass.
The Cardinals definitely have a nose for the rebound on both ends of the floor, but offensive rebounds, the 20 we talked about, 50 rebounds per game is what they're averaging this season.
Shook is 5 for 5 from the floor, plus 4 rebounds. So I'd say she's been pretty good so far.
She continues to excel for the Cardinals in her senior season.
Takes it out on a high post to Shook, and now Jasmine Jones. She starts in, backs it out, dribbled it in traffic.
They're going to call a foul on Boise State.
I love just Gordy's reactions over on the sideline. Who says a picture can't tell you 1,000 words, right?
Well, I think what he's thinking is, look, you've been letting some things go and you're going to call that?
That was a little ticky. Yeah. It's going to be out of bounds to the Cardinals. Evans will trigger it in. to the right of the Cardinal basket. It comes into Shook. Oh, she didn't need to dribble there.
No, but the Cardinals able to retain possession, and guess what? Jasmine Jones is going to the rim.
Again, Jones goes. Now she has 14. How about that?
Jasmine
and the crowd
Jones
appreciates it.
Absolutely. Scored a career-high 25 points against Central Michigan in that victory, and she's on pace to surpass that this afternoon.
Look at this pressure in the backcourt now put on by Balagoon. 2:38 to go in the second quarter. 48-29, number 8 Louisville over Boise State. Good double team there, and it's going to be a foul to bail it out. I think Jeff Walls thought that was a clean tie-up, and you can see Jasmine
Jones definitely doesn't agree with the call, but what great pressure defense by the Cardinals. Getting out in the passing lane, smothering the ball handler. It just doesn't get much better than that, short of the foul.
And Jazz will have to go to the bench. Nope, I take that back. She stays on the floor. My bad. Substitution was for Boise. Little backdoor, it goes nicely, and the finish by Coleman. That was the best offensive set play of the game by Boise State.
Well, you can just see Boise State's confidence growing minute by minute in this ball game as they continue to be more aggressive on both ends of the floor. Nice pass into Coleman. Great finish with some contact. Coleman now with 8 points, 4 of 6 from the field.
You know, 4 players have already received their undergraduate degrees. Coleman is one of them. She has a BA already in criminal justice. And how about the Cardinals coming right back at the other end?
And excuse me, that was free throw made by Coleman, was her 11th point. She's the first Bronco in double-figure scoring.
Yes, she is.
Nice feed inside.
Yep, a little bit too strong again, though, by McGuire. And Shook gets yet another rebound, and she wants to post up down low. Here's a 3-ball off the wing.
And I don't think Hodgins could have defended that better. But Balagoon with the height advantage, able to finish right over the top, and a steal.
And she loves that spot, gets the feed at the other end and scores.
And that is when Louisville is so dangerous.
Might see a timeout coming here in a minute because it's 55-32 with a minute 18 left of the half.
The Broncos had gone on a little bit of a run and closed the gap, but the Cardinals have more than answered.
Here's the 3-ball that rims in and out. 11-3 run by Louisville over the last 2.5 minutes. And now we're under a minute to the intermission. Evans, Shook underneath, and she's fouled.
Well, what a great job by Shook to set up and seal and pin on the opposite side and then come meet the ball. Great job by the post player and beautiful pass by the point guard, Dana Evans.
She's a good target, too. She's a good target to hit.
Oh, absolutely. At 6'5", with those long arms, she does a nice job of presenting herself, showing her teammate exactly where she wants the ball.
She's one of those players that elects to take no practice dribbles. She does that, done that her whole career, hits 1 out of 2 here. As you can see, we're winding down the half.
And the key to a successful free throw shooter is you want to have the same routine every time you go to the line.
$15 on the shot clock, 33 on the game clock in the second period. Here we go. Coleman in traffic, 4 to shoot. Hodgins puts it up and in.
Man, tough shot. Active hands by the Cardinals, but a great job by Hodgins to finish on the inside. She got the step advantage on her defender.
Louisville take the final shot as we're under 8 seconds to the intermission. Evans with 3 to shoot. Dana floats it up and in. And what a half for Dana Evans. as she finishes with 14 points, along with Jones with 14 and 13 for Louisville player that somebody might know.
She's decent. She was decent, Angel McCautry.
Yeah,
she
yeah.
was fantastic
Just
player for the
imagine if you could tie
Cardinals.
that record. Wow. And Boise State gets the first possession. They give up one inside for a better shot outside. Hodgkins, that's the best play away from a lineup today for Boise.
Yeah, great job by Christopher to get into the paint and find the wide open Hodgins.
And Shook got it in a great position that time. McGuire much wiser. She didn't foul foolishly. She just held her ground.
Well, that was Shook's first miss from the floor today.
Yep, you're right.
And then Hodgins coming out with the reverse layup, and that is exactly what Boise State needs out of their experienced senior class. They need Hodgins and Lupfer especially to step up and score.
Louisville now has the possession in the half court. Jones with the left hand draws the foul, and she'll have a couple of freebies.
They're going to call that on Lupfer.
Yep. 14 fouls.
It's Lupfer's third personal.
There's a good look at Jazz. As my partner mentioned, she had a career-high 25 against Central Michigan. 64% from the floor. That's good enough for third in the ACC. 4 assists a game. That's good enough for 8th in the ACC. Need I say more?
She is certainly an impact player. And I'm telling you, when it's a guard that's shooting 65, you're thrilled if your post player is shooting 65%. But when you can get your guard to do that, those are high-quality shots that she's attempting.
60-38 Louisville, and that's one of those unforced turnovers.
Yeah, but it was the pressure by Jasmine Jones that caused that miscue. Jones didn't actually steal the ball, but she caused that turnover.
You see the difference in the turnovers, 13-7. Cardinals with the advantage there. Evans takes it between the circles, gets a high pick from Shook. Now Kylie takes it back. Good movement to Dunham, and she missed the shot but kept alive by Balagoon. And that's a good half court, even though they didn't score and going to the line. That's good persistence there, Sarah.
Well, it was unselfish basketball, nice ball movement, and then a great job crashing the board, staying with the play. You know, one of the things that you'll hear coaches say day in and day out in practice, and again in games, is play until the whistle. Play hard, play 100% until you hear the whistle blow. That's when you rest.
So Dunham rolls into free throw. Shooting 52% from the field. 3 or 4 out of 7 now from the line on the year. And I think Jazz thought she'd created another turnover. Look, she thought, I got it off that blue shirt. I love her. She's got that passion, doesn't she?
Look at her there communicating defensively.
Oh, how about that three? And a little glance from Lupfer over at her.
That was a great shot by Lupfer, and a deadly three-point shooter, 42% coming into today's game. Jasmine Jones got hung up a little bit on a screen and couldn't get out in time to successfully defend.
Here's Jones banking it off the wing. Nope. Here come the Broncos on the dribble. Hodgkins strings it up. Now Coleman backs to Hodgkins. 15 to shoot.
You know, Hodgins averages 4 rebounds a game.
You're right. She gets after it. She's really a kind of a hard-nosed player. Good three-point shooter.
She makes an impact on all areas of the game, not just scoring. 5 assists, 4 rebounds, almost 12 points, a steal per game. Comes up with those hustle plays.
Yes, she does. That one saved near the line by the Broncos. The aforementioned Hodgkins goes in and gets the layup right before the shot clock expired.
And if you give her just a little bit of window of an opportunity, she is going to knock down the shot.
Yeah, that's her splash of the Splash Sisters for sure. She plays very hard. Straight away three. Nope. Balagoon too strong. It's 61-43. Louisville.
Nice little hesitation moving. Great backdoor cut by Hodgins.
And Jeff Walls looking down his bench. This has been the best run that the Broncos have had in the game this afternoon. And Hodgins now with 16 points. She and Jones are tied for the score leadership in the game. Shook inside, kind of rushed the shot, but Jones gets the rebound, and she's fouled by Christopher.
Here in the third quarter, the Cardinals are definitely missing some shots they typically make, but they are doing a nice job on the offensive boards to give themselves second and third opportunities.
Yeah, big difference. Louisville in this half having trouble, and of course, you mentioned Boise State, just the opposite. Jones pulls up with about a 10-footer to knock it down. She has 18 now to lead all scorers. And it's 63-45 Louisville. And as we mentioned, she just had a career-high 25 a couple of games ago. There's a nice dribble drive by Coleman, just above the free throw line. Transfer from Arizona. Got her BA in criminal justice already. Ready to go to work.
Yeah, the Broncos have 4 players who already received their degree.
Yeah.
So they not only excel on the basketball court, but they get it done in the classroom too.
And you know what? PSU is 6 for 6 this quarter. And now they turn it over. You can see the smile on the face of Coleman saying, I know. But they got it going. Haven't missed a shot in this quarter, and they need some of that.
They are playing with a high level of confidence right now and executing at an equally high level. Very unselfish ball team.
See the turnover difference too.
Came in averaging 17.6 assists per game.
Yep.
So they're used to finding one another.
They certainly are. Shook for 3. Little strong. Dunham almost had the rebound. Boy, she went in there with authority. It'll stay with Louisville. I tell you, when Bianca comes in there, I wouldn't want to be in her way.
She has such strength.
She does.
She's ferocious on the floor.
And it'll be Mikasa Robinson triggering it in, who's back into the lineup for Louisville, number 5. Jones gets a pick, can't use it, now dribbles through with the left hand, it lays it in. Jones now with 20 in the game.
Boise State just does not have an answer one-on-one defensively against Jasmine Jones.
No, they don't, but they got a good pass there. How about that assist by Bowers?
Beautiful pass by your post player to the cutting Coleman.
That's what Boise can do. That shows how well coached they are. Evans backs this one up. Dana hits another 3. She has 17 points. 3 for 3 on threes.
Well, you've got to know where Dana Evans is. She shoots 45% from long range.
You best find her, that's for sure. And a timeout on the floor. It's 68-49 Louisville.
Oh, the Elizabeths, Balagoon and Dixon have been a great addition to this Cardinal roster. You see what they did at Georgia Tech and were highly rated on the ACC, and they have definitely made an impact this year as sophomores with the Cardinals.
They have there as Jasmine Jones goes up in the lane for a jumper and draws the foul. But there you see what they did for Georgia Tech, and then all you got to do is just change unis and poof. How about that?
Very impressive. I really like that Balagoon is shooting 50% from the field and from three-point range. And look at the rebounds by Elizabeth Dixon, 8.3, second behind Kylie Shook. So their scoring averages aren't the same, but Louisville has more depth than Georgia Tech. So they've got a little different role with the Cardinals, but are certainly big factors on this Cardinal roster.
And I think it's safe to say that she has more players around her now, too. Those two have.
Oh, of course.
Transferring with the, when you can start redshirting 5-star recruits, you know you got some depth. And that really pays off for the student athletes sometimes, too. Good backdoor, but Louisville defended it well as Robinson got back there in a hurry. But there's a 3 ball. And I tell you what, as we told you, this Bronco team will not quit.
They are still perfect from the field here in the third quarter.
8 for 8.
Great ball movement for the 3 by Freeman.
And there's a whistle and a foul. That time the turn where Warner will go to the line. Here's that Boise basket.
So set up by dribble penetration by Coleman, and then the pass out along the baseline. Freeman, the ultimate recipient, and she's a tremendous three-point shooter. Was able to attend their practice on Friday, and she missed very few, even in practice, from long range. We talked about Elizabeth Dixon with that great graphic by our crew, thanks to those guys. And Dixon, I think her biggest impact has been the additional rebounding that she brings to the Cardinals. That was a point of weakness last year for a little while.
Yeah, if you got in any foul trouble, Louisville really struggled. There's a good post-up move. Now, see, Bowers was so much under control, more than she was early in the game.
No question. It really took Boise State a full quarter, really, to settle in against this tremendous Louisville defense. Dixon with the 2 points right underneath the basket. But they are playing with the confidence that a senior-laden team you expect to have in a tough environment on the road.
Oh, yeah. And they played against a lot of tough competition. A steal by Evans. Dana leads the break over to Shook, and Kylie finishes it off. Oh, to perfection on that break for Louisville.
Well, that is where Louisville is so dangerous in transition. And when you've got your 6'5" post player running the floor like that, you've got to reward her with the pass.
Nice shot over Shook, a little bit too strong by Lavelle.
You're going to say the Broncos. No, I think he just reversed himself. Giving the ball back to Boise State.
Well, we got 3 new players coming on the floor for Boise State, and Kylie Shook will get a rest. Shook now with 15 points and 5 rebounds. 7 out of 10 from the floor. How about that?
Very impressive. Well, this Boise State team has had tremendous success. They are 3-time Mountain West tournament champions, have played in 3 straight NCAA tournaments, and they are looking for their 4th straight. That is a goal of theirs. They are also have won 2 regular season Mountain West titles.
They've gotten used to going to postseason play, that's for sure. And a 3-second violation. We hadn't seen one of those in a while. Gordy hadn't seen one either, I don't get it. Look at him, he's saying, do we still call that? Oh, maybe.
Well, great defense by the Cardinals.
17th turnover, that didn't make him smile, but a much different Boise team here in the third quarter.
You can see why they are a championship team. They are going to continue to play all the way to the final buzzer.
Robinson over to Evans. Dana blows through the lane, missed it. Rebound, back up and in by Dixon. She's determined to get one of those follow-up, and indeed she did.
I'm going to whistle Evans for the foul on that dribble drive.
It'll be out of bounds to Boise State. Comes into Hodgkins, a little off jumper, a little bounce off. Didn't get it. And Louisville runs it the other way, doesn't get the bounce, but I think Kono's going to go to the line. She got a little coaching tip there from Liz Dixon. Shaking her head, yes.
Well, Kono did a nice job of absorbing the contact and still getting a shot off. She just wasn't able to get it to go down.
Gets the free throw. Boy, what a delightful young lady, and the team has just embraced her in so many ways. And guess who else has? This coaching staff. They love what she brings to the table.
Well, there's a calmness.
Yes, there is. You're
about
right. That's the perfect word.
She doesn't get in a hurry. Has not been playing basketball for very long. Started playing because of her sister, and only has been playing since 9th grade.
And now Louisville, a 9-2 run over the last 2:08. After that quick start by Boise, but right back to work. They go inside. There's Mallory McGuire. gets the hoop.
She has not been able to get many looks inside today.
Yeah.
Louisville post players have done a nice job defensively.
Diop in the lane, didn't get it. Another rebound by Dixon. She has been really aggressive on the glass. Nice pass inside again. How about Kono with the beautiful assist and out of bounds to the Cardinals again.
Well, great job by Dixon for going across the lane and still coming up, being slightly off balance, but able to finish.
And Louisville 6 out of their last 8 to make this nice run in the 9-2 difference. Also in the Louisville lineup now, Lindsay Duvall, number 12, on the floor. Kono a little strong there with the effort.
She made a great read, but I feel like she rushed the shot.
Yeah.
We talked about her calmness and patience.
There's a dribble drive, went right by the pick opportunity, and a nice basket there by Maggie Freeman. She's a redshirt freshman out of Beaverton, Oregon. And you see the wind down the final seconds of the third quarter. Robinson. Diop fires. Didn't get it. Tip, no. Quickly up Boise from three-quarter court. And that'll take us to the end of the third quarter. The Cardinals are moving tonight.
Another backdoor cut and drive by Hodgins. Hodgins had a really nice third quarter, but it has not been enough to get Broncos where they want to be.
Got a deflection now, a little half-court trap as the Broncos trapping all over the floor. Robinson in the corner to Duvall and got the friendly roll. Lindsay Duvall from Mount Washington, KY.
Well, Duvall is a three-point specialist, and she struggled a little bit this season from long range, but connects on that one.
Yep. Little nice turn and shoot that time. Boy, I tell you, Bowers rather has come off the bench, and she wasn't the least bit intimidated by the Cardinal inside players. She faced right up and took it to the basket.
She's been an impact player, averaging over 8 points a game off the bench. It's been a little quiet. That was just her 4th point today.
And that's an air ball. Didn't get any of it. Diop a little upset.
The best thing that you can do after misfiring on the offensive end is get a defensive stop. And we see Diop at 5'10", guarding the 6'3" Bowers.
Yeah.
Shows you the kind of confidence that Jeff Walls has in her. Diop, the 6th-year player, a transfer out of Pitt.
Oh, what a difference in the way that the Broncos are running their offense since early in the game. They have been unbelievable. In this half, they're 13 of 15 from the floor. That's unbelievable.
Shooting 60%.
Yeah.
And still trailing significantly now. 22 points.
Robinson pulls up, no. Tipped by Diop, no. And here comes Boise on the run. Got the numbers, and the shot goes, and a foul. Terrific drive that time by Maggie Freeman, and she'll go to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play.
That was a great decision by Freeman. Her teammate was open down the floor, but the defender really never committed to who she was going to guard, and Freeman just took it strong to the hoop.
Yep. Couldn't get the three-point play, though, capped. Yeah, if you look at the statistics, as our great statistician Ken Horn said, it just doesn't add up. You would look at the numbers and not say the score couldn't be that, but it is.
It is, and one of the reasons why is the Cardinals have 12 more field goal attempts coming into the third quarter.
That's it.
Than Boise State.
Yep.
And when you're playing a team like Louisville, the number 8th ranked team who is so successful at home, you've got to make sure you have greater field goal attempts than your opponent.
Yep. Comes into Diop, knife head fake, can't get the shot to go.
Look at Duvall skying. Oh, excuse me, that was Kono.
She
with
got
the
that
offensive
rebound ready
she
to
got
go
up
back
for
up
that
with
one.
it. Yep, she did. She's like a sponge out on the floor, too. Everything that happens, you don't usually have to repeat things to her either. Into Diop it comes. And a block. And out of bounds. It's lucky to stay with Louisville. After his block, it went off one of the other Broncos' foot.
That was
out of bounds.
Great block by McGuire. She just happened to lose her footing, lose her balance.
Nice inbounds pass from Kono, and Dixon the recipient.
Well, we've talked before, Don, about how efficient Louisville is on dead ball plays. That out-of-bounds play by Louisville executed perfectly.
And they're going to get an offensive foul. Nope, just a basket and a foul.
Nice job in answer by the Broncos. Great cut to the middle by Lavelle.
Somebody got smacked in the head, according to the official. Let's see if they do here.
Well, Lavelle initiated contact, but there was definitely contact too by Kono. And Lavelle, the lefty, finishes with the made free throw.
She averaged 37 points a game in high school. You think they depended on her a little bit?
No question. She's got great size, great strength.
Yep. Duvall, the little runner, and got the friendly bounce there. That's 2 fortuitous bounces she's had here in the corner.
Yeah, that was a good finish by Duvall. It was pretty well defended by Lavelle.
Once again, good low post pass, and it goes inside to Bowers. And you know, Gordy's over there saying, why couldn't we have started the game like this?
Bowers really having a big fourth quarter. Now up to her season average of 8 points. Perfect 4 of 4 from the field.
Hodgins has 16, Coleman 15, and double figures for Boise State. Diop straight away. Follow back up, Conan, no.
Diop's had some good looks
yes, she has.
this afternoon. Just can't get them to fall. Oh, nice drive there by Christopher, and Bowers with the offensive rebound and put back.
That's the kind of effort you see from Coach Presnell's teams when they take the floor. Still plenty of time left in this one. Louisville's going to get a host of new players in, and now Boise's going to have 3 come in at the next dead ball. Oh no, starts out, dribbles in, pulls up, banks it, no. Rebound tapped over. A little chippy doesn't go for Dixon, and she gets a 3rd try, and she'll go to the line.
I love how hard the Cardinals hit the offensive boards. They just do not assume the ball's going in. They're crashing the boards on every shot.
And we have multiple substitutions.
I see a lot of starters coming in for both teams. 5:47 left to play. And I think in film breakdown after this game, one of the things that Coach Presnell and his staff are going to talk about is the need to box out more effectively, because they have given up a lot of second chance offensive opportunities through offensive boards to the Cardinals today.
And Dixon cashes in twice, and now she'll go to the bench as Bianca Dunham will come to the floor, and a good hand for Dixon, and she goes out. Gets 15 points and 4 rebounds, done very well. We knew she would be a great addition. Actually, all the additions have been good fits. Broncos will trigger it in after the dead ball. And Christopher trying to get a pick set. Has one to the left. And that's a double dribble.
Well, you don't typically advise defensive players to go flying at the shooter in the way that Balagoon did. However, it paid off for her that time, because Lupfer was going to let the 3 fly, was concerned about getting it blocked, and so then decided to dribble to the right. Unfortunately, she'd already picked up her dribble.
You know, we ought to ask Gordy what it's like to win 670 games.
He has had tremendous success. It's in his 15th season at Boise State.
Yeah, he was a winningest coach in D2. And
33 years as a head coach.
Dunham injured herself. She went down slow and slowly gets up and still in the backcourt.
She is definitely hobbling, Dunham is.
And that's an easy basket with the numbers that time by Boise. And now it's 90-73. I don't know if it's a cramp or whatever for Dunham, but 3 to go. What jumps out at you here?
Well, Louisville's pressure defense forcing Boise State into 19 turnovers. 3-point field goal shooting pretty even. Jasmine Jones with an outstanding night on 22 points. And Brady Hodgen, despite some first half foul problems, having a strong game for Boise State with those 16 points.
That's true. This one bounces over the top of the backboard now. And we'll take a break, and it's 24-8 on points on turnover, and it's 90-73 Louisville. Start. That's unbelievable. Every game the last 2 seasons, 864 her career points, and she has been a great leader today as a senior as well.
22 points today, 2 assists, 4 rebounds. Not a bad afternoon.
And a good selection for our impact player as well. How about Dana Evans? This one doesn't go, one of the few she's missed from beyond the arc today. And now she'll settle the floor with Evans 4 minutes remaining.
Just about at her season average with 17 points.
Yep. Shook trying to post up down low, getting covered up now. 5 to shoot. Dana on the dribble drive and a little bit of overpassing. Not enough time to get rid of the ball.
Well, it was great hustle play by Kylie Shook to come up with the ball. She just didn't realize the time on the shot clock. Turnover to Boise State. Louisville, though, just their 9th turnover of the afternoon. And what a great dish inside!
Wow, that's the kind of play that you expect from Boise as Christopher hooks up that time. Boy, a terrific play. Just a bad start for Boise in this game, but they're making quite a run with still 3:32 to go.
They were down 17 after the first quarter.
Tried the backdoor. Evans a little bit too far underneath the basket. 3 deep corner, nope, by the lefty. Hodgins couldn't get it to go, but they got their own miss. And now Jones leads the break. Kono, little spin, puts it up, no, but she'll go to the line. Every time she does anything, the crowd reacts in a big time way.
She is certainly a crowd favorite.
She is. And she'll be stepping up to the line. Louisville as a team has hit 15 of 21 free throws. And 6 of 8. Again, a lack of free throws from Boise State, as you mentioned at the top of the show today. Don't get many freebies at all. That's one too strong by Marika. You see Coach Walls coaching with Dana right now.
Well, one of the things that the Cardinals have done an excellent job taking away Boise State's 3-point shooting. They've just hit 5. Right. They average over 9 made threes per game. And good job by Sam Purcell scouting out the Broncos and taking away one of their strengths.
91-75 Cardinals. 2:42 left. Nice feed down low again. Boy, I tell you what, Christopher now has that inside game going big time with Bowers.
Bowers now with 16 points, 8 of 10 from the floor.
And Bowers 14 points in this quarter. Wow. She's been something else.
That was Bowers' 14th assist of the game. She can find her teammates. There are some really impressive stats for the Broncos going on in this game, but it just hasn't been enough. Great rebound.
Got the rebound, and on a breakaway, an easy 2 by Balagon.
Nice job by Jones to look up the floor. Balagoon running the floor hard for that easy layup.
Well, this Bronco team, this is why they've been so successful. There's no quit in this club. It never has been in the most recent history, that's for sure. Just throwing this one up because she was about to lose balance, and Soler gets her first two. The Spaniard comes in and gets a basket. Just over 1:20 remaining.
Christopher has set a career record for assists. Her best was at San Jose State, 13 on February 9th of 2019. Thanks to Ken Horn for that outstanding statistic. So a new career high for Jade Christopher in assists. She came into the game averaging 6 assists per game. She's done a great job of finding her teammates, a career best job of finding her teammates. Is a lot of contact there, but Dunham losing balance and the basketball.
Jessica Limley, the checks into the game, the senior out of Louisville Mercy.
She's such a great hustle player.
Yes, she is. Wears number 24. Also back into the Louisville lineup is Duvall and a couple of crowd favorites. Yep. Here's a 3 straight away, a little bit too strong by Bowers there, although she's been incredible in the second half for the Broncos. And now we're under a minute with the Cardinals leading at 96-79. Louisville will be heading to the Virgin Islands on Tuesday for play over the Thanksgiving holidays.
It's a great place to spend Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Dribble drive and off the glass that time. How about Elizabeth Balogun there with the hoop.
Balogun showing why she's a preseason All-ACC pick.
And right back at you, says Christopher, as she nails the 3. Now everybody's beginning to hit. And coach is telling the defense to get after him, and Louisville's just standing holding the ball.
So with that 3, Christopher becomes the 4th Bronco to reach double figures. Cardinals also with 4. Cardinals just too much for Boise State this afternoon.
And that'll wind it down and be another Cardinal win to start 5-0.